Good morning, everybody, with Missy Jen. Happy Tuesday. I guess I should say afternoon to all of you. And Missy Jen and I are out on the fire trail again today. And it's been about a week since I went out, so I'd like to just go out today. We're going to be busy tomorrow prepping for our friends to come over. So this will be our last chance to really get out and about and see, check out maybe some of the EPA cleanup. And see what's going on and get into some of these areas we haven't really gotten into yet. Additionally, we found out yesterday that the Journey's End, the mobile home park where 140 mobile homes burned down, is now condemned because of asbestos. So that's going to really slow things down in terms of having a whole new layer of cleanup, a whole new layer of hazmat coming in, and that's probably going to put them. To me, that would have been the easiest place to rebuild, Jen, because it's mobile homes, right?
Right, you just clean up and put new mobile homes on every time.
Yeah, so evidently that's not going to be the case now. We'll see what happens there. We'll stay on top of that. We may pop over there today and just double check. The other thing is that I just heard on the news this morning that they've already have ordered 500 RVs, 500 RVs, and they're going to be putting them in a X number of mobile homes too. They're going to be putting them over at the fairgrounds and making really a small city over there for people, because a lot of people they're understanding now, Jen, the magnitude of, you're looking at a 10-year process now to restore, over 5,000 homes in the city here. So that's a lot.
It's going to take a long time.
It's going to take a long time, and like I said, there's not enough construction crews. You can't just come in and build it like a Levittown was built after World War II, although in a lot of ways you wish you could, but there's no single landholder. The way they built Levittown was they came in and they owned the land, and one crew came through and just moved through and continuously did the excavating foundation and stub out utility work, and then the next crew would come in and do the framing, and then the exterior finishes, and the electric would be pulled inside, and you had a flow for things that you could literally knock out 1,000 or 2,000 houses in a year. We don't have that situation here. We have thousands of people for the first time in their lives are going to be acting as general contractors and trying to get their homes rebuilt and dealing with insurance companies. So it's a very difficult situation. I can't think of another community in the United States, Missy Jen, that's dealt with such a whole-scale wipeout.
Actually, in Texas, they got. Not with fire. But,
well, the foundations remain, and a lot of it is tearing out drywall and letting it dry out good, and then having it signed off on by the city that it's structurally okay, and then putting that drywall.
I think the biggest catastrophe the United States has seen.
Well, it's certainly the biggest wildfire catastrophe in terms of property loss. It's closing in on $4 billion. So we're going to try the Coffee Park area. When I used to think it was hundreds of homes, it ended up being 1,500 homes.
1,500.
Just in Coffee Park, and of course, Coffee Park's the place where you have the famous drone flyover of the mailman delivering the mail to mailboxes, and some of the earliest drone footage was the carnage over in Coffee Park. So they're starting to get a little bit of pushback too among people that are starting to get a little they're not aggravated. They were probably sitting on their anger for a while about why they didn't get more warning. The fire started at I think 9:40 p.m. over in Napa County, and by 6 hours later it was making its way into Coffee Park, and some of these people, well, all these people only had
minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to get out. So a lot of people were upset. A guy was standing up at the county supervisors meeting and the city meeting, talking about his dog. He had to watch his dog basically incinerate right in front of his eyes because one of the gates was locked at one of the exits, and he had to climb over the gate, and the dog couldn't get over, an old dog, and the dog just, you know, he had to watch the dog burn up right before his eyes, and he was very upset that he, number one, that the gate had a lock on it, and number two, that he didn't get more warning to get prepared. So that's going to be a common theme. So the lawyers are going to be taking a few different angles here. Of course, they can't really state anything definitive about Pacific Gas and Electric, our utility here, in terms of trimming trees. You know, you have to be very careful what they allege. Okay, all they can allege now is in the past, PG&E has had a record of not great compliance. Maybe it is great, maybe, who knows, but to them, not great compliance in terms of keeping trees trimmed around power lines. But now that another angle will be, we didn't have enough emergency warning. I could have saved more of my stuff, and therefore the city is responsible, the county, for those losses.
Imagine having 3 hours.
Yeah.
You could load up your vehicle in 3 hours with your most precious possessions and haul ass out.
So there we have another crevice, another crevasse for the lawyers to kind of get their hooks into that. And in a lot of ways, I'm not a judge. I'm not here to try people, but in a lot of cases, I can understand. Fountain Grove, I don't think they have any ability. That's the places up on the hill that thousands of homes got wiped out there. I don't think they can really say they didn't get enough warning, because they're very inaccessible and most everybody got out of there, you know. But over here, it took a long time for the fire, in fire terms, to get here. And I guess they never imagined it would leap from, you know, the Kmart over into this neighborhood and end up being a disaster. Anyway, we're going to work our way in here now, and we're going to see what we can see in the way of cleanup. We have never really been able to get into Coffee Park before. We've only been on the exterior and shot some video. So today might be our first ability to have a ride through, mainly because today we are on official duty. So, okay,
that's right.
We are on our way. We have made it into Coffee Park, and I'll tell you, Jen, this is a mind blower here. We're going to sweep to our left through here. Wow, it's just, it even continued, Jen, even more that way. Goes on forever to the right. And sweeps down the hill here. Huh? All down the hill. You can't even see it down here. We'll get out and show you guys down here. Also show you these signs here that they've put up now. Here's the sign you get here when you're complete. Your EPA has come through and checked it for really super hazardous waste. You get one of these all clear and complete. But, yeah. This is unbelievable here. This continues a mile this way and a good mile behind me back here, and probably a half a mile wide. This place must have been like the bowels of hell when this was going on. The smell here is still overpowering. They will take care of your cleanup. As I said before, the government, if you sign off the right to give access to your property, they will come in and do your cleanup for you. Otherwise, they have a short list of contractors that are approved to do that site cleanup, and they'll come in and basically remove it. I think it runs something like $15,000. So I think most insurance companies are hoping that people will come in and will agree to just use the government so that they can have a coordinated cleanup. So 3/4 of a mile to the right, half a mile to the left here.
And these are all these donuts. These
all these courts.
stupid courts. It's a death trap. It's like you can't get out in a hurry.
Our timing is perfect. This marks the beginning of the real, true debris removal right now. This is the very first house in the whole fire that is going to have the debris removed. So our timing could not be more perfect. This is Mr. Aguilar, and you're on a real mission to find...
We're animals lovers, my wife and I. If the animal is alive, the owner of the cat, I just saw him a little while ago. When we talk about the cat, you can see the tears gushing down his eyes. It's
I know, it's unbelievable. But it's been a month, and you expect the cat still to...
Well, they were told that a dead cat was found here.
Okay.
They came over to look at it, and they had a veterinarian checked it with the scanner gun, and
right.
it wasn't chipped.
Okay.
So that's good. Their cat is chipped.
Okay.
So
they continue to check the shelter continues.
This is a weekly Sunday paper, but anyway, you just never know. I believe in miracles.
Yeah, that's great.
I got water and food in here just in case. I find a dog or a cat look like it's hungry, I'm gonna feed it.
Well, you're a great man, Mr. Aguilar. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I hope any of these here are your home or not?
No, I'm just saying this is the very first cleanup of any site in the whole county or city right here, right now.
Right next to my friend's house is right there. See that truck?
Yeah, I do.
The flashlight is right there.
Well,
I'm hoping all this noise and racket, if the cat's around, it will scare it
come running out, that's for sure. All right, thank you, Mr. Aguilar. Thank you.
Be careful around here, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. those count. Okay, that was very interesting to go through there and watch. That's the very first house in the whole fire anywhere. They're kind of using that as a test to determine the proper methodology for doing this job. So the scale of this is just unbelievable. Just unbelievable.